So if the root CA is compromised, the entire PKI environment could be affected. Hello everyone, today I'm going to cover one of the most important foundational topics in cybersecurity, and that is public key infrastructure, also known as PKI. Now, I'm sure you might have heard things like the terms like certificate authority, digital certificates, public and private keys, certificate lifecycle, and so on, right? So these terms are very common in cybersecurity, but if you're still starting out or if you're in entry-level stages in the industry, these terms might sound a bit confusing. So in this video, I just want to make sure that you understand all these terms and how each of these things work together. Now, every time you open a website using HTTPS, send a secure email, or connect to a VPN, something is happening behind the scenes to make sure that everything is trusted and secure. And that system that does this something is called PKI, or public key infrastructure. Without PKI, secure communication on the internet would be very difficult because anyone could pretend to be anyone else and users wouldn't really know who to trust. So imagine that you want to visit your bank website. How do you know it's actually your actual bank website? How do you know that you're not connecting to a fake website created by an attacker? That's where PKI comes in. It helps with authentication, which means verifying identity. It helps with encryption, which protects sensitive data, and also helps with integrity by ensuring that your data is not modified during a transmission. So as you know, these are some of the very core concepts of security. So now let's talk about the main components of the PKI environment that will help us to achieve these goals or the core values of security. So these are the main terms are certificate authority, registration authority, digital certificates, public and private keys, certificate revocation, and so on. So we will be looking at all these terms in this video. First, let's talk about the certificate authority, also known as CA. A CA is a trusted entity that issues digital certificates to users, devices, or services. These certificates help systems trust each other and communicate to each other securely. But before a certificate is issued, right, the identity of the requester needs to be verified. So this is where the registration authority, or RA, comes into the picture. The RA works together with the CA. So it's like a separation of responsibilities. RA is responsible for verifying the identity of the user, device, or the system requesting the certificate. And once the RA confirms the identity, it informs the CA that the request is valid. And after that, the CA will issue the digital certificate to the requester. So another important component in PKI is digital certificates. So this is like a digital ID card. It contains information about who the certificate belongs to, the public key, the issuing certificate authority, and how long the certificate is valid for. There's an expiration date for the certificate. So this certificate can actually belong to different things. It can belong to a website, a user, a server, or even a device. So when you visit a secure website, that website has a digital certificate. And your browser will actually check the certificate to make sure that the website is legitimate before establishing a secure connection with it. Okay, so that was the third one, digital certificate. Now let's talk about public and private keys, which are really the foundation of PKI, and most of you all probably heard about these keys previously. So PKI uses public key cryptography, which involves two keys, a public key and a private key. And the public key can be shared with others, while the private key must be always kept secret. So these two keys work together to encrypt data and decrypt data. Sixth one is the types of certificate authorities. I just want to give you an idea that how the CA hierarchy works. So there are three main types: first one or the topmost one is the root CA, then there's intermediate CA, and the last one is the issuing CA. So root CA is the top level authority in the PKI hierarchy, which means it is the most trusted certificate authority because it signs and validates all other certificates in the chain. And root CA is very important, so it is usually kept offline and highly protected. Because that will reduce the risk of compromise. So if the root CA is compromised, the entire PKI environment could be affected. Next, we have the intermediate CA, which is like the second level. So this CA sits between the root and the issuing CA. And the root CA signs the intermediate CA, and the intermediate CA is then used to issue certificates or sign another CA. So this will add an extra layer of security instead of directly issuing certificates by the root CA. Then we have the issuing CA. The issuing CA is the CA that actually issues certificates to users, devices, servers, applications, and so on. So this one is the one that's most commonly used in day-to-day operations. Now let's talk about another important concept, which is the certificate lifecycle. So lifecycle is basically like the journey of the certificate from the moment it's requested until it expires or no longer being used. So it starts with the user or the device or a system requesting the certificate. That's the first step. So once the request is made, the RA helps to verify the identity of the requester. After the identity is confirmed, the CA issues the certificate. Once issued, the certificate is installed on the server, device, or application, or whatever that requested it. And then from that point onwards, it will be used for secure communication like HTTPS for websites, VPN connections, and so on. Right? Now, like I said before, these certificates have an expiration date. So before it gets expired, we have to renew it to keep the communication secure. So if a certificate is compromised or if it's like no longer needed, it can also be revoked to prevent misuse. But if the certificate is naturally reaching its expiration date, it will become invalid afterward or will be no longer trusted. Right? So from request to verification, issuance, usage, a renewal, revocation, and expiration, this whole process is called certificate lifecycle. So now let's talk about certificate revocation. So sometimes certificates need to be revoked before they expire due to several reasons. So one being the private key is compromised, or maybe the certificate was issued incorrectly, or simply because the system no longer needs it. So there are two common ways to check if a certificate has been revoked. The first one is to check the certificate revocation list, or we call it CRL, which is like a list maintained by the CA that contains all the certificates that has been revoked before their expiration. So the system can check this list to see if a certificate is no longer valid. Right, and the second method is the Online Certificate Status Protocol, or OCSP. So not like CRL, this one allows systems to check the real-time status of a certificate, which means that a system can quickly verify whether the certificate is still valid or has been revoked without downloading a full list. So CRL and OCSP, they don't revoke certificates themselves, but they are just used to help systems know if a certificate has already been revoked or should no longer be trusted. And that's a simple explanation of the entire PKI environment and how it works. So understanding PKI and its components are very important for anyone working in cybersecurity, because these concepts form the foundation of trust, authentication, and secure communication, which means that almost every system that we work on will use this concept, right? So that is why this is important for you. So hope you learned something, and if you all have any questions, you can drop them in the comment section and I'll answer. Thank you.